Hola, buenos dias, good morning. This is Tulum, downtown. So here we have the main street, the highway going from Cancun north on the Yucatan Peninsula, and then 2 hours down to Tulum here, continuing south down to Chetumal. If you saw my last video of Mahahual, then that was down that way. About a 2.5 to 3 hour drive south of here. Now in that video, then I made the comment that Mahahual was kind of like the up and coming Tulum, or Tulum 20 years ago or something like that. I'm going to talk more about that in a couple of minutes, because I would say no, Mahahual is not the next Tulum, and I will explain why. This is the main like restaurant, shopping, walking street along here. This is like the bike path right there. So you go about like a kilometer down that way, and then there's a road going to the right, and that will get you over to the beach. So I wanted to make this like a informative, honest review of Tulum. I will start out by talking about the town. I'm going to get off this main street though. There's a street that I parked on down here with a lot of amazing murals on it. Also, it will be a little bit quieter for explaining a few things, and then I will come back to the main street and look for some breakfast. So, the town of Tulum. The town of Tulum itself, this here is basically rubbish. Like, there's no reason to come to Tulum just to hang out in the town here. Although it has become a scene, of course, with a lot going on, but basically you come to Tulum to do what is around Tulum, which is a whole lot. The incredible beach, if you can afford it, which 20 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, was a backpacker's paradise. But good luck finding a good deal on a place to stay on the beach, except that there are hostels that are reasonably priced. Now, I showed my room there at the beginning. The best prices for rooms are going to be in the town here as opposed to on the beach, which is like more than a kilometer off of the main road here. So the farther away you get from the beach, the more reasonable the prices get. But as you saw, my room there, decent room, but not cheap, especially for Mexico. I had to move out because they didn't have any more availability in that same room tonight. I've been here for 6 nights now, and I'm staying just one more night. So I changed to another place that is just on the main road there, and it is like $40-something per night, and it looks pretty nice. So there are actually some decent deals to be found. It will depend on the season. Probably the fact that it is a Monday makes it cheaper. Here at the end of January, it might be kind of going out of the peak season, at least, of the holidays a little bit. So at least there are some affordable options. But as I said, the actual town of Tulum is not a nice Mexican town. There's so many much more lovely, peaceful, beautiful, attractive Mexican towns. Guanajuato, Zacatecas, San Miguel de Allende, Sayulita, Zihuatanejo. So Tulum is not a place that you come for the atmosphere of the town itself. It is about what is around the town. So I mentioned Mahahual, and maybe you saw that video. So here is the pretty impressive selection of street art, especially this one. Love the style. So Mahahual is a totally different scene from here, especially in terms of the crowds. It is like super mellow, even though there was a cruise ship crowd that arrived in the middle of when I was filming, and it was still like nowhere near what things are like down on the beach here at Tulum. And maybe I will get down there in this video, maybe I will not, because I've been here previously, I was here about a year ago and made a couple videos here. My plan for today is to explore more cenotes, and so that gets into what there is to do in the area, and so that is what makes Tulum worth visiting. If you don't mind the crowds, if you're not into the trendy, hippie, new age scene, then it is probably not your place at all. But if you don't mind that, then as you can see here, there is definitely a colorful aspect to it of the art, the music, the gatherings, the ceremonies, the food, incredible restaurant selection here. And so what makes Tulum totally different from Mahahual is that there is a lot to do in town and especially all around the town. Once you get down to Mahahual, basically you're at a beach, a very nice, lovely beach, next to a fishing village of 900 people, and there is really not much to do there other than snorkeling tours, various boating tours, but around the town there's just very little going on. Whereas in Tulum, and here I'm finally getting to the point, then there is just so much to do in this area. The Mayan ruins, I went to Cowboy. The Mayan ruins right here at Tulum. The cenotes, which I will be showing soon. The incredible beach. And the cenote experience is so unique to the Yucatan, and there are so many of them. And so you can just spend a day cenote exploring and maybe include some Mayan ruins and have an amazing time without even necessarily getting over to the beach. So my car is parked right down there. I have a rental car for $43 a day that I rented in Playa del Carmen specifically because I figured it would be cheaper there than either the Cancun airport or here in Tulum. Not exactly sure of that being true, but it seems like it would make sense. Tulum is more expensive than Playa del Carmen. And of course, if you rent a car at the airport, they are very likely to try to straight up rip you off, or in general, the prices will probably be a bit more expensive than $43 a day, including taxes and insurance. So you have the main street there, and then as you can see, these other streets in the back on all sides with more restaurant selection. Tulum has become so touristy, so popular, that there are just restaurants all over the place. And so that is part of the advantage and disadvantage depending on what you're looking for, but it is definitely an experience and definitely a unique place unlike anywhere else in Mexico. So whether or not it is worth visiting will depend on what you're looking for, what you're in the mood for. As for me, then, I don't mind experiencing some of the touristy places, especially when they are touristy for a reason and have a lot to see and do around them. And then, of course, it is also nice to find places like Mahahual or Zihuatanejo that are less of a crazy scene. So here you go. And I'm thinking about going to this restaurant here, which I ate at once before. Don Cafeto, La Marca del Café. So I'm going for the Maya breakfast. 165 pesos, that's about $8, with juice, toast, coffee, and an omelet or motul style eggs, which are a local style of eggs like that. So give that a try. So I got a lemonade. It's more like a frappe, very icy. Tulum style, I guess you could say. This is the Mahahual eggs, a Yucatan dish. Fried eggs, I think, under there with a nice sauce. Cheese, ham, peas, plantain, some salad. And there's also some beans in there. It's really good. All right, so I am totally ready to get out of town. So I'll just walk down here a little bit and show a little more of the town scene. So I highly recommend getting a bicycle. That is really the best way to go, especially if you're staying in town, but even if you are down on the beach, then you have a bike to get into town easier if you don't have a rental car. But either way, a bicycle is really the nicest way to get around town and get out to the beach. And you can even bike out to some of the cenotes. The one that I'm going to next, Cristal, is not very far out of town. Just remember as you walk down this main street that this is basically the bike lane. Try not to get run over or get in a bicyclist's way. So I think I'll just walk to this junction here. This is not the road to the beach, the main road down to Tulum Beach. It is the next main junction down here. Also, the Tulum Mayan ruins are a few miles that way. I bicycled to it when I was here. It's a bit of a ways, but a nice bike ride. So you can see, it is a busy town these days. There are more restaurants down there, on the other side there, down this street, street food stalls over there. All right, let's go find the car. So it is 7 kilometers down to the Cristal Cenote, which I did not have high expectations for. It is right next to the Escondido Cenote, which I went to before, and so I was just kind of curious to see the Cristal one as well, also because it is close to town. I think that the other ones, which are the other direction, close to Tulum, will be more interesting. All right, so something I wanted to talk about here that is very relevant for people traveling to Mexico in general, which is the visa on arrival situation. It's not actually a visa, but basically if you're coming from the United States and many other countries, then you are allowed to stay in Mexico for 180 days. So 6 months, which is amazing. However, they have been changing that time allotment and giving you less time depending on, oh, here we are, that was quick. So it is no longer a sure thing that they're going to give you the 180 days. I just learned about this recently, but people have been commenting about it and asking about it. How many days did I get this time that I entered Mexico, which was just a week ago? So I got 25 days. Now, I only even checked because people had posted comments asking me how much time I got this time. I didn't notice when I entered Mexico in Cancun. So for some reason they are limiting the time that people are allowed, and it is super random and unpredictable. It can depend on various factors, such as how long do you say that you are planning to stay. And so when I went through customs in Cancun this time, then the lady asked me, how long are you planning to stay? And I said 2 to 3 weeks. And then when people asked how much time did I have, I checked and realized, oh, I've got 25 days. And so if you want to take advantage of the full 180 days that you used to be allowed, then it can depend on things that I'm not entirely certain about, such as where you enter, perhaps if you have a return flight, if you have a specific purpose or something, and also just how much time do you say that you're planning to stay when they ask you? So if you want to get the 180 days, basically you have to be prepared for it. Plan to ask them and tell them I want to stay for 180 days, maybe have a return flight for 6 months later, or have a specific purpose in mind, visiting friends, or maybe digital nomad working would be a good excuse. But then also there's the issue of you're kind of working in Mexico, so I really don't know about that one. Might want to avoid that. I don't know, but keep it in mind. Look around online, find other stories of people who have done it as well if you really want to get that full 6 months, and be prepared to sort of make an issue of it at the customs desk with the agent, because after that is done, then apparently it's like done and it's kind of, you know, written in stone. Getting it extended will be very difficult. You might have to leave the country or something and come back again. So just something to keep in mind. All right, let's go see the Cristal Cenote. So there's the Escondido Cenote, which I went to before. It is just across the street. As you can see, it is basically just a swimming hole. And it looks like that is the case with the Cristal as well. Looks like it's bigger, as opposed to the underground cenotes, which are much more impressive, much more of an experience. I think that some of the other ones that I am going to next will be maybe partially underground or maybe fully underground. I think that they will be more beautiful than this one though. Do not use sunscreen. That is a regular thing with these cenotes. It ruins the I don't know, I guess the plant life. Got some hammocks over there, a spot to jump off over there. And let's see how clear this water is. If you can see the bottom, I would assume it's perfectly safe to jump off here, considering there is a diving platform. Oh yeah, you can see the bottom. It is very deep. This is a much bigger hole than the Escondido one. Nice. And luckily the sun has come out. For just being a swimming hole, it is a pretty epic swimming hole. I love cenotes. Casa, Tortuga, Tulum. That remains to be seen. So this is going to be a different experience from the other one. The Cenote Cristal was 150 pesos or $7. There is a Tortuga, a turtle. This one, however, is 650 pesos, which is a little more than 30 bucks. But it includes 4 cenotes. And also, I guess that includes a locker and use of a life jacket. There are 2 cenotes that are above ground and 2 that are in caves. And when you go in the ones in caves, you have to wear a life jacket, something like that. So this should be a pretty awesome experience. Might be kind of a touristy one as well. Let's find out.
Refrescante, ¿cierto? Sí. Cuando lloramos, nos gritamos, solamente lo disfrutamos. So guys, welcome. My name is Tomasa, and I'm gonna be your guide right now. In total, we're gonna visit 4 cenotes. Are included 2 caverns and 2 open ones. But question: this is gonna be your first time swimming cenotes, or you do this before?
First time.
First time.
Done before, yeah.
Okay. You know the water's gonna be
Clear, and well, it's kind of warm if it's outside. If it's in the cave, I bet it's colder.
refreshing.
We live in Scotland, it's cold there, yeah.
Piece of cake, right?
Easy.
Okay, so follow me, we're gonna begin in the caverns. Vamos a empezar en la zona de cavernas, ¿vale? De este lado, por favor.
Gracias.
Okay.
Cenote Wisho. Down
Este es
there.
el primer cenote en caverna. This is the first cavern. Wisho cenote. Tiene unos 15-20 metros de profundidad. It's deep, 35 to 55 feet deep, right? But it's short. Aunque es... Sorry. You're good. You're good.
It is dark in here. I guess she might have a flashlight. Yep. Life jackets required.
I'm scared.
Indigenous.
¿Recomendable para él? Claro, si está tranquilo en el agua, puede ir tú. Solamente nosotros 4 vamos a entrar, ¿verdad? Sí, nosotros de grupo. Ellos son los de mi compañero. Ok, en este caso, vamos a poner que pasen ellos para que mi compañero los espere del otro lado. Y ya para nosotros tengamos el tiempo aquí.
So this is a low one. Gotta watch your head.
My friend?
All right. Interesting. So I'm not going to swim at this one because I'm getting cold. You can see a cloudy day here at the end of January. Done enough swimming for now. I might head for the beach, the main Tulum beach next after this. So this is a long thing where you can start swimming at the end over there. Look at that. Interesting building. Wonder what it's for. Maybe massages or something? 200 pesos, 10 bucks. It is windy and a tad chilly. It could definitely rain at any time here. So you can park a bike. I think it's free to park a bike at least. Excuse me. Yep. Hola. So this is basically the end of the beach, at least this section of it. You can see rocks there, but then there are various other sections of the beach going down that way. But this way, it goes for a long ways, like a mile or so. So let's do the Tulum Beach walk. And then find a spot to take a seat, grab a cerveza.
Oh man,
I can tell you, but I'll see.
yeah, your voice, yeah. Adventures with
Gabriel?
Gabriel. How you
Traveler.
doing? How you doing?
Good, good.
Good to meet you.
You too, man.
Hey.
So that guy there was Angel from Los Angeles. Super nice guy who was subscribed to my channel, recognized me, said hello. And so I stopped and he offered me a beer. And I just hung out and just talked with him for a while. Super nice guy. He is here for like a couple weeks on the Yucatan, getting a break from the crazy concrete jungle of LA. So thanks again, Angel, for the 2 beers. And up ahead, you can see the Tulum Mayan ruins. Poking up from the top of the hills there. The entrance is on the other side, so you have to go back to the main street and then access the ruins from back there. They're definitely worth visiting, but not the most interesting of the Mayan ruins by any means. Coba is a lot more fascinating to explore. I remember seeing this boat the last time I was here a year ago. It was less buried in the sand. And there you can see one of the towers of the Tulum Mayan ruins. You can see the tower sticking up there. I'm going to take a seat and drink this other beer. So So this is a Montejo since 1900. Apparently a Yucatan, Yucateco local beer. Typical taste.